teams need to know. A roundtable panel discussion brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. Before I introduce our expert panelists and our partner sponsor, let me share some brief housekeeping items. First, this webinar is CPE eligible with 4 polling questions, so please answer each poll. If not CPE, please answer to benchmark your peers. Also for CPE, you must attend for at least 50 minutes and answer a quick survey at the end of the presentation. Next, we'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please use your GoToWebinar control panel to ask our experts questions. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. With that, I'm pleased to share a little bit about our partner and sponsor. BILL is the intelligent finance platform trusted by nearly 500,000 businesses and their accountants to manage, move, and maximize their money. BILL powers businesses ranging from fast-moving startups to growing companies with complex operations. BILL uses AI to deliver strategic finance capabilities in one integrated platform that includes AP, AR, expenses, forecasting, procurement, and more. With a member network of more than 8 million, BILL's platform processes approximately 1% of US GDP annually. That's some big numbers. And is headquartered in San Jose, California. BILL is a trusted partner of leading U.S. financial institutions, accounting firms, and software providers. For more information, visit bill.com. And I'm very pleased to introduce our expert panelists, veritable dream team, Christine Gu and Genevieve Hancock. Christine Gu is Chief Financial Officer for San Francisco-based Clarify Health Solutions, recently promoted from her last panel just earlier this year. So congratulations, Christine. She's an active CPA with more than 20 years of accounting and finance experience. Prior roles included Chief Accounting Officer at Clarify, VP of Finance, Corporate Controller, and a public accounting career at KPMG. Her experience includes both public and private companies, from startups to public ready, and she's managed multiple IPOs and SPACs. She earned a BS accounting from San Francisco State University, and she was the Controllers Council 2022 National Controller of the Year. Genevieve Hancock is principal consultant and owner of G. Hancock Advisory, providing technical accounting, finance, and fractional CFO services for several firms. Most recently, Genevieve was CFO at Germ-Free Laboratories, a biotech life sciences organization, and her prior experience includes a mix of both public filers and private equity-backed organizations, including the Walt Disney Company and Exactech, and a public accounting experience at both PwC and BDO. Genevieve is a speaker, author, and licensed CPA in Virginia and active in the Virginia and Florida CPA societies. She earned a Bachelor of Accounting from William & Mary and studied English and Business at Tulane University and is currently working on her Executive Doctorate in Business Administration at the Crummer Graduate School of Rollins College. Welcome, Christine and Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here today. Okay, well, with that, so let us get to our first panel question. Just tell us a little bit about your company and your accounting and finance department. Christine, let's start with you.
Thank you, Neil, and thank you to Controllers Council and Bill for having me today. As you know, Neil introduced, I'm Christine, a CFO at Clarify Health. Spent over 20 years in finance accounting across both public company and private companies. So for Clarify, it's a healthcare technology company focused on delivering analytics and insights that help improve healthcare affordability and outcomes. So our finance and accounting organization supports a broad range of functions, including accounting, FP&A, treasury, procurement, tax, audit, rep ops, and strategic finance. So for us as a Series D company, operating in a very dynamic environment, our team has to remain like agile while also maintaining strong governance and controls. So over the past several years, we've focused heavily on building scalable processes, improving automation, and then strengthening internal controls, as well as creating an IPO-ready finance organization. Um, so one thing I have learned that modern finance team are no longer just transaction processing organization. We are strategic business partner. So that means we need flexible talent models, and contractor can help fill the gaps quickly, especially in the specialized area like technical accounting or one-time system implementations or tax projects, audit readiness, AI transformation, etc. So, at the same time, because we operate in the healthcare technology environment, we also have to be very thoughtful about compliance and data privacy and access control when onboarding external resources. So that's the environment that we're operating in.
Wow, excellent. Genevieve, tell us a little bit about your consulting org and maybe a little bit about some of your prior CFO experience.
Perfect. Thank you, Neil, and to the Controllers Council and Bill for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be here. So my background is a mix of all aspects of corporate finance, specifically coming from public accounting. I've got a very strong scoping and governance lens, as well as a focus on accountability and process improvement. I would say in the leadership positions that I've been in and with the current companies that I work with on both a transformational and interim leadership basis side, I have worked where the onboarding of consultants can be extraordinarily important. But the first thing that I would focus in on is that those contractors, whether it's myself or the ones that I'm working with, they should be closing a gap and not becoming a business model or an operating model in and of itself. So my finance and accounting department within my organization are the people who go in and help improve and stabilize those processes, but generally on a very streamlined base level type of positioning, where we're not expecting to be there for an extended period of time. I would say that on the permanent position side, so such as my prior positions as CAO or CFO and in any other leadership positions, the company and the finance and oversight, we have had many different aspects, or I have had many different aspects of the leadership skill set, which it requires what do we need for foresight in the future. So I've overseen not only procurement and direct procurement, some supply chain, as well as the purchasing department's full finance budget implementations, and then some IT and tech stack implementations as well. So ERP, and what does that overall strategy look like to get to that one aspect of finance, which can be broken into really two things. And I know this is boiling it down very, very quickly, but finance and accounting can really be two things. There is the timely and accurate reporting, which gives you the data to be able to make decisions. And there is the strategic finance, which is what are the levers to be able to make that next decision and get to where you want to be, whether it's on growth, whether it's on market share, or whether it's on anything in the future of what you're trying to pivot into as a holistic organization.
Wow, excellent. Yeah, both Genevieve and Christine both mentioned strategic finance, so I like that part of it. Well, let's keep going. We're going to start now with a poll question, our first poll. Let me see if I can launch this in this new. All right. So does your company use independent contractors? Select one of the following. So take a few seconds to answer. All answers are confidential and anonymous. And of course, more often than not, these polls lead into our panel questions. So we have a point of reference, an audience point of reference that we may or may not talk about. So a few more seconds, please. This is both for CP and benchmarking if you're not looking for CP. Okay, so I'm going to close this poll out and share the results. And we use full-time employees and independent contractors for 72%, a significant majority. Only 7% use independent contractors across the board, and 16% use just full-time employees, no contractors or consultants, and 6% not sure. So I don't think there was any surprises here, panelists. Do you, Christine?
Honestly, I would say that there's a, I would be surprised if it had skewed in the other direction, but I really think it also has an economic stance where you're looking at what's the best path forward on the cost benefit. And when things get tight, when you're in a recessionary environment, it's a little bit different though.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see how our panelists get into that. Does your company use independent contractors, including